Muggleton just has to cross over this crest. He will cross the line and will win the championship.
Hello, race fans, and welcome to Week 11 of the V8 Supercar Americas Series presented by v8sonline. Hi, folks, I'm JD Smith. With me tonight to call all the race action will be Kane Kraft. And before we get started, we want to let you know that tonight's broadcast is presented in glorious high definition and presented by our good friends at V8 Supercar Fan Group, Direct Clutch Services, and our very own V8 Superstore, our v8's online superstore. Kane, it's week 11 here. We're here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, or also known as just Montreal. It's kind of a tough track name, and that really takes place on the track as well. We know this track for its really harsh race stewards, I guess we could say. The corner cutting here is scary. You barely clip a little bit too much of an apex here, and the next thing you know, you get caught with an evil slowdown penalty. It can ruin a race in a hurry. Nobody's safe here at Montreal. Kane, are you ready for this 30-lap race tonight, buddy?
Oh, I am so ready. A bunch of curb jumping, high intensity curbs, a lot of chicanes, and yeah, they got the big passing zones. This track is really a great track for these cars and for road racing in general. I love it when the guys come here to Montreal.
Well, I think back to when Marlon McMullen won his first V8 Americas championship, Kane, and the season ended at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, and it truly was an amazing time for Marlon. It was a great race. The points were close, and he performed outstanding. We're going to come here today. It's not the last race, but it is the race leading up to that last race of our season. The point standings are tight. Sean Kelly still in the lead, but it's going to be really tough for Marlon McMullen to make it a three-peat. He's going to have to perform well here tonight, Kane. He really almost... Do you consider this a must-win for him tonight?
Oh, it's definitely a must-win, but at this point, he's already succeeded the championship. He's aware he's probably not going to get the championship, but him being the classy guy that he is, he's going to come out. He's still going to try to win the race. He's going to run as hard as he can, and he's worked hard preparing for the race, and he's just going to come out here and give it all he's got. He's still going to give it every effort clear up until that very last second. You never know. Something could happen to Sean. We've seen some accidents last night that were race-ending accidents, and you never know. Anything could happen, and as we've seen with Marlon himself the last couple weeks, right off the bat, he's got involved in some race-altering incidents right at the beginning of the race. So he's going to keep after it, clear till the very last second of the very last race.
Yeah, it's good stuff. 2.71 mile circuit here. It's definitely not a stranger to these drivers. They know this track very well. You have to know that the preparation for the race today has been well underway since the conclusion of last week's race at another track in Canada. We were at Mosport last week, and we saw a great performance from Madison Down, Kane. He dominated that race, and it was really a treat to have him here in the Americas Series. He just stopped by for a little quick win and took on. But it's been a wonderful year or season. We can't call it a year because we have 4 seasons in a year, but it's been a wonderful season so far, Kane. You have to think this thing's going to go down to the final week. So I'm really expecting a great race tonight. Every time that we visited Circuit Gilles in the past, it has been a great race. It does get irritable to the drivers with the slowdown penalties, and you have to take into effect this isn't the easiest circuit either. It's very difficult. Like you said earlier, a lot of chicanes here and some very difficult ones too. We see a lot of corner cutting by mistake by some of the best sim racers out there. So you have to expect we're going to see that tonight. Nobody's safe. We could be coming down to the final lap, Kane, and we could have our leader with a 5 or 6 second lead on the field. He catches a slowdown penalty and he won't win this race. That's how big this place is.
Yeah, I agree. You're absolutely right. A penalty can cost you, but by the time they hit you with the penalty and you slow down and you get going again, it can cost you 5, 6, 7 seconds, and it really stinks, especially the one right before the start finish line, as you've got to get it. You got to get the car slowed down and get the penalty cleared. I think you got to get it done before you get to the start finish line, and so yeah, it really stinks. But these guys have gotten better the last couple times they've raced at understanding where those zones are and being extra careful. But I'll bet we still do see a slowdown penalty tonight.
Oh, I bet we do. Got a nice sized field tonight, Kane. It looks like we're going to have 19 drivers in the field here. So it's going to be a lot of traffic here, a lot of congestion on the start. We've seen some calamity at the beginning of races here, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it again. These guys are going to have to be very, very cautious on the start of this race. The grid will be very full, a lot of heavy cars right side by side, and every one of them trying to crawl to the front. It's going to be very vicious. But I think that if these guys can get off to a good, clean start, this race could be very, very, very close. Other than that, Kane, I'm excited, man. This is week 11, buddy. We got to get things kicked off here shortly. 19 cars out on the track. It's a very important week for Marlon McMullen and his new teammate, Curtis Chipaway. Let's talk about Kurt for just a moment. I think that he has just had a remarkable year, very, very much improved. Each week he seems to be gaining more confidence and getting better and better. I think he's a driver we should watch out for next season. I think he's really one of the best up-and-comers, and I know he's been around, but he's just gotten better and better in the last few weeks, Kane. This guy is almost a shoo-in for third place every week.
Yeah, you're right. He's come back off of a hiatus this year, and he's came back fast as heck. A lot of times people really have to work into it when they come back, but he's just been right on par ever since he's come back. And now working with Marlon McMullen, this kid's just going to get faster and faster and faster.
You know what, Kane, speaking of teams here, before we get things set as the guys are finishing warm-ups here, I do have some news that I'm not going to break out just yet. That's right, if you're watching the race live right now, we have a couple special things on this broadcast here this evening. One of those being I have a very special guest. I'll introduce him in just a moment. But also, I have a driver who's got a little clue out on the track tonight, Kane. And I'm going to tell you the driver, and I'm not going to, we'll kind of keep the clue, but he posted a clue out there for us to see if we could figure out his big announcement. And he just said there's something very special on the splitter of his car. And I'll tell you what, his nickname is the Enforcer, and we'll just kind of let that settle for a moment and see if you can figure it out before the race is over. But I already know what it is because I saw him in practice and I figured it out. It did take me a minute, and I was talking to him, so Kane, it's going to be kind of, I'll just see if you can figure it out. It's some pretty cool news. But anyhow, getting ready, let's take a look at the starting grid tonight, Kane. A very important starting grid at that. After qualifying, it is a great result for Marlon McMullen, who is tonight's pole sitter. He qualified with a pole time of 1:36.82. Very nice there from Marlon. In second, it's going to be Tobias Zerny. Third will be Bo Cubis, Curtis Chipaway starting fourth, Corey Preston starting fifth. Michael Fulcher will be starting in the sixth position with Mark Anderson seventh. Eighth will be Andrew Green, Sam Collins ninth. 10th, Bo Cattell, Sanjay Delilac 11th. 12th will be Jake Burton with Marty Carroll cleaning up 13th. 14th will be Aaron Hamilton the second, and Martin Kramer's in 15th. Justin Allen 16th, Graham Bones Filan 17th, 18th, Richard Stamakovich, and Michael Cracknell rounding out our 19-car field. The guys are lining up. We're ready for the lights. Kane, are you ready for Week 11 action here? It is going now. They're revving up. Let's go racing.
Green, green, green.
And they're off, guys. Very important here on the start to make sure we already have some contact, but everything seems to be okay. It looked like Jake Burton there getting into maybe Sanjin Delilac. Very good, very close early. Everything seems to be okay. That's actually Bo Cattell right in front. And we do have a spin around in the back of the field, Kane. It looks like maybe Richard. No, it was not. I'm trying to see who it was. It might have been Graham Filand. It was Graham Filand. Spun around on the start. The car looks okay, and he is back going. Let's check back in with our leader, Marlon McMullen. Marlon out to a great start right now, Kane. He's got about a 3-car length lead over Tobias Zerny. These two teammates, it is dangerous for them to be out front. No sign of any threats at the moment. Bo Cubis in the 3rd position. He started 3rd. He's fallen back a few positions, so it's going to be interesting to see how he does.
I don't know if you've noticed, JD, but there's a car missing out of this field tonight.
It is. It's Sean Kelly, Kane. I noticed that just a minute ago. I was wondering where he could be. He's our points leader. What do you think about that, buddy?
I think that that does open the door a little bit for Marlon McMullen. It's a little bit of help that he needed to get him back in the chase for the series.
Right now, fantastic driving as we enter the famous hairpin turn. It is side-by-side racing in the back of the field. These guys are very close, very exciting going around the long backstretch here at Montreal. Right now, it's good to see Andrew Green back out on the track, Kane. The Green Machine is back and in action. I love this car. He's got
serious damage on Marty Carroll's car. He's heading into the pits.
Not good news for the SDC Motorsports machine driver. The Simpit Ford Falcon very, very banged up. He's looking for his pit stall. Hopefully his crew can get things fixed in a hurry. Not what Marty wanted early in the race. Kane, while we're here, just wrapped up lap 1, Marlon leading the race. I do want to introduce a very special guest, if he's still here with me. I want to introduce very own Paul Slavonic, reports from In Racing News. Paul, do you have a copy with us, buddy?
I got you, man. I'm glad to be here.
Paul, welcome to the show. We're happy to have you here on v8 Online's coverage of the v8 Americas series. And I just wanted to let you say hey to everybody while we're getting this race underway. You can watch these guys every week and report on them. It's got to be as exciting for you as it is. I guess what I'm asking is as exciting for you as it is for us.
Oh yeah, I mean, getting to watch these drivers race. I mean, some of these drivers that are on the V8s are some of the best drivers on the iRacing service. So it's really a treat to see what they can do with these cars. I mean, all of us have tried, or at least made some attempt to, make some laps in this car. And it's really, really a beast to drive. So seeing what these guys can do with it is absolutely amazing, and it's very, very humbling too. Even if you think you're an accomplished driver, you see what they can do, and you go to try to do it. Yeah, you'll probably end up landing a flat in your face for the first few times, but a great community. I'm really glad to be a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love reading the articles that you get to put out, Paul. I want to recall a time you even mentioned our broadcast on one of your articles. I was like, awesome, we made it in Racing News. We're doing okay.
Oh yeah, what the best part of it too is like getting the feedback from the drivers. Usually the editor for In Racing News will post some stuff in the forums, and then some of the drivers will give feedback. And it was actually I think it was Jake Burton and Michael Fulcher. I think they're really the ones that have really been kind of helping me. Oh, that guy's got some damage. They've really been the ones that have been kind of helping me along with just kind of giving me feedback what they would like to see more of, and just get little bits here and there from the drivers has really helped me kind of expand the articles, include the teams and everything. But you got to give shout outs to the teams. They put a lot of work into these cars and everything, so you got to give credit where credit's due.
Absolutely, Paul. Well, we're going to get back to the race right now. Paul, hang tight with us. We got a lot more to talk about in just a little bit. Glad to have you here on the show, buddy. Feel free to chime in when you want. We're glad to have you in the booth with us tonight.
Absolutely, I'll be sticking around.
Kane back out to the race. Marlon McMullen still out in the lead. He just made it around the lap car of Sam Collins, and that's not good for Sam. I hate to see that. Sam's had a great past few weeks, and I hate to see him going a lap down here so early. But looking at some of the other action on the field, we had some banging going on during the interview. I wasn't quite sure what that was. I heard some damage, but I didn't see the actual event take place. Mark Anderson is in the pits, as well as Marty Carroll. And now also, it looks like Corey Preston as well. So we got all kind of action going on, Kane. 3 cars in the pits right now. Here we are just on lap 4. We'll go ahead and do a quick rundown of the field here in this race. Remember, 30 laps in tonight's race. Right now, Marlon McMullen is the lead with a 2.5 lead over second place driver Tobias Zerny. Curtis Chipaway in third. All Power Bond cars make your top 3. Michael Fulcher of Kamikaze Racing is in the 4th position. Andrew Green has made his way to 5th. Back in 6th, it is the Ansett Motorsport driver of Bo Cattell. Back in 7th, Jake Burton holds down in the Sim Instruments. Got a great battle going on right now with Bo Cubis. Bo Cubis makes the pass in the Bottle O Ford Falcon. Beautiful job there by Bo. Bo will actually jump up and pass to make 7th. That'll put Jake Burton down in 8th. Sanjin Delilac back in 9th. Martin Creamer's in the Mad Cow Ford Falcons getting past right now. In the hairpin, contact is made, and Martin Creamer's will fall to 11th. That's Justin Allen who made the pass there. Back in 13th, let's jump to 12th. That'll be Michael Cracknell. Then Corey Preston is 13th. 14th is Richard Stemenkovich. Back in 15th, it's Aaron Hamilton. Graham Filan back in 16th, Sam Collins 17th. Mark Anderson is in the 18th position with Marty Carroll in the pits. He is 19th. Marty's day may be done if that car can't get fixed, guys.
Yeah, what a shame. Another bad luck incident race for Marty Carroll. That's, I know that's got to be frustrating for him to come out here week after week and end up having a big incident like that happen that takes him to the pits and he loses some laps and has to come back out a couple laps down. He's definitely a much better driver than that, and I know that's wearing on him, but the season's almost over and he'll get a brand new fresh start, and we'll see him out here doing great things next season.
Absolutely. Guys, the battle does presume for that 7th place position between Bo Cubis and Jake Burton. Bo Cubis trying to drive away with this, but not an easy task as Jake Burton remains right on the tail, only about a car length between the two drivers. A great battle on track. We go up just a few positions and look at Bo Cattell Andrew Green and Michael Fulcher. I apologize. Michael Fulcher there got about a 2-car length lead. Andrew Green trying to close in on 4th position. Only on lap 5 of 30. This race is just getting started. Any word on what the fuel window might be here? Normally I kind of have a grasp on it, but tonight I am absolutely clueless.
Yeah, I don't really remember what the fuel window is here. I'm expecting to see the guys in the pits tonight, though. 30 laps I don't think they can do. I know that Corey Preston's already made his pit stop, so I'm going to guess the pit window's got to be around 20 to 25 laps. We'll probably see some drivers come in around lap 13, 15.
Oh, yeah, Kenny. Yeah, Jim Davey, welcome to the broadcast, buddy. Go right ahead.
Hey, just thought I would jump in there, let you know. So we did the practice race last night, and it's actually, you need a little bit more fuel than you normally would take at one of our pit stop races. It might catch some people out if they haven't practiced it, because you're getting roughly 1 lap per gallon, I think is about what we were doing last night, just under that. So figure you can hold about 19, 20 gallons in the tank. Lap 10, 11 is probably the earliest you're going to see people come in, and then it might be a stretch.
Wow, so the ones that we have seen pit, they're going to have to come back in. And what's bad about that, Kane, was not only did we see Corey Preston come in, we also saw Mark Anderson come in. Now, Mark Anderson right now, guys, is off the track, and it looks like his day may be done. I don't know if he's going to stay in the garage area or not, but right now, Mark Anderson off the track. On
Yeah,
other
same
news,
thing for Corey Preston. He had made a 20-second pit stop, and it looked like he just came in for fuel and tires and went back out. But obviously, it was something much more serious than just a standard pit stop, as he's now off the track.
boy, I tell you another news, Marty Carroll, remember guys, was in the pits. He is 3 laps down, but the car is back out on the track and does look a lot better. Still minor damage, very visible, but the car looks a lot better. Leader Marlon McMullen will be coming up on our buddy Marty Carroll here soon. So a great result so far for Marlon McMullen. This is more than he could have asked for. No Sean Kelly, and he is in the lead, and a nice lead at that. Teammate Tobias Zerny is the nearest competitor, and he's over 3 seconds behind him, Kane. We go one more position back, Curtis Chipaway. All top 3 of our drivers are all Power Bond racers.
I think Power Bond needed a night like tonight to have Power Bond up in the top 3. It's a boost for their confidence, and Marlon's been having a tough time the last couple weeks. I think this is definitely something that those guys needed.
I believe you're 100% right, Kane, and it's just really good to see him out front right now. He really needed it. Got a really good look right here at Andrew Green. I'm watching him kind of closely because he's got a tough task at hand, Kane. He's trying to catch Michael Fulcher. Michael has a really, really good pace going right now. Ooh, we might have cut chicane a little bit. It was really close. These guys come so close to the slowdowns each lap, but obviously he didn't get it. He's still got about a 2-car length lead over Andrew Green. That is the battle for 4th. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Other places around the track, Justin Allen and Michael Cracknell were going at it, and that has now split up. Justin Allen, despite the damage on his car, he's actually got some pretty decent pace. He's, well, he did. He's starting to fall back now, Kane. Something's happened.
Martin Creamer's also with some damage to the Mad Cow Ford. He's still holding pace, though. He's still turning some decent laps. I think he might even be gaining on Bones there up in 13th.
Graham, I gotta love him. He's still rocking that patriotic paint scheme from last week, right around representing for the 4th of July. I love that paint. It's absolutely awesome, and it just looks really good. Bones representing well. He's in 13th right now, Kane. He's doing okay, looks good. But I believe you're right. Martin Creamers looks like he may be running him down slowly but surely. Martin Creamers has Justin Allen right on his tail now, so this is going to be a fun battle. Although at the rear of the field, this is really fun. You got 2 good drivers right here fixing to go at it. Both cars have minor damage, so that even makes it more fun. Going back to the pre-race show, I mentioned we had a surprise from the enforcer. For those that don't know, wait a minute, Justin Allen now going to try to make a move on Martin Creamers. A little bit of contact was made coming out of the hairpin, side by side going down the straightaway. Kane, a big passing opportunity for Justin Allen. Oh, he pulls it off. Beautiful pass there. Now Martin Creamers will try to take advantage of the draft as they head into the chicane. I just don't think he has enough. A great pass by Justin Allen. Oh, contact was made. It looks like Martin Creamers might be heading into the pits. I hope he got down off the speed in time. It looks like he did, but wow, I wonder if that was intentional. I don't know if that was a planned stop, guys.
Yeah, I don't know either. He might have ended up having to duck into the pits just because of the incident. But he's there. He's spent the time. He might as well repair a little bit of damage and take some fuel. He's right at the fuel window.
Back to what I was saying a minute ago, though, buddy. The enforcer is Corey Preston. And I wanted you guys to take a look at his car, but for him, he's in the garage area. That secret will have to come out another time. Oh, we got a car off the track. We got a car off the track right by Aaron Hamilton. It is going to be, it's going to be Michael Cracknell, who has spun out coming out of the second chicane here at Montreal. He got the car back going. Not a lot of damage. It's definitely some damage, but he is back going. You know what? That's a great idea, Kane. Let's let's bring into the show Mr. Corey Preston for a quick word. Corey, do you have a copy, buddy?
Yeah, I got yours.
Corey, welcome to the broadcast, buddy. Tell us about what happened out there.
I got a good start and then got a shortcut penalty on lap 2. And then I didn't slow down enough, so it gave me 17-second cut track penalty. So I went into pit lane, and then firing off out of the pit lane, I spun and hit the wall. So I just lost the plot.
A rough day. I know that's a tough race, a tough way to start the race and a tough way to end the race. But tell us, I was telling the guys before the race, we had a very special hint on the enforcer's car, and that's all I told them, and then we didn't get a real good look at the car, buddy.
It's a surprise.
That's right. It's going to remain a surprise. For how long?
Maybe till next season, who knows?
Uh-oh, that's a long time. You got us waiting, and you're going to make us wait till next season, huh?
Yeah, I might.
Heard that, buddy. Well, we're glad to have you here on the broadcast, buddy. Sorry about the result.
No, you're right.
Make sure you hang around, pal, for the Get Dirty MX post-race show. We'll have plenty to talk about tonight. We got a special guest going to join us as well. He's in the booth with us. That's Mr. Paul Slavonic, so you might going to want to hang around for that. Oh, right now, Michael Cracknell gets really loose coming out of the hairpin. He saved it. Beautiful save. He almost hit the outside wall there. I don't know how he was able to maintain that. He was spinning out.
Awesome battle between Bo Cattell and Andrew Green for the 4th position.
Oh, man, great. I'm so glad you called this out, Kane. The Tag Pest Management Ford Falcon trying to run down Andrew Green in the green machine. And I'm telling you, this is a 3-car battle now because you have Bo Cubis and the bottle of Ford Falcon right behind these two, Kane. So if Bo Cattell and Andrew Green start battling, here comes Bo Cubis. Nobody's really paying him any attention. He can pull a double overtake here.
Tell you what, Andrew Green has come out of nowhere and has done a fantastic job this season. He just started driving the car this season to the best of my knowledge. Anyway, it's the first time we've seen him here in the Americas was this season, and this kid is fast.
That's amazing.
I say
Kane.
kid, I don't recall his age at all, but this guy's fast.
That's amazing.
He come in here and was racing with the fastest of the guys right off the bat. Now he's holding off Bo Cattell. Bo
Maybe not for long.
choosing to go to the pits.
Yeah, Bo Cattell and Bo Cubis, both Bo's in the pits. And
Yeah, I don't know that that was a plan for Bo Cattell, but he ended up getting kind of bottled up there, and I think he just decided, yep, this is a good time to go to the pits.
I believe you're right, buddy. Andrew Green a little relieved, though. Pressure was really mounting up, and he's now has no pressure, so he can just ride on and worry about running good lap times. But speaking of Andrew Green, he almost gets loose on the exit.
Yeah, Justin
there.
Allen making a move on Michael Cracknell. He gets the pass done with ease. Justin Allen on the move here tonight at the Montreal.
It wasn't that long ago we saw Justin Allen fall all the way to 16th place. Now up to 10th, Kane. He's on the move. Keep your eye on Justin Allen. Talking back real quick now before we moved on, I was trying to bring up something on Andrew Green. And what I wanted to say about Andrew is, hold on, I'm trying to remember now. Oh, it left me. No, it'll come back. Oh, yes, you're talking about him just joining the V8 this season. That's amazing. There's only one other driver I've ever seen pick up the V8, if that is true, as quick as him, and there's only one person that comes to mind, and we used to race with him, Kane, in the GV8. Our great good friend, I'm gonna see if you can guess. Who is the one person you know of that pulled up into a V8 his first time, and it was like they were just made for each other? He was extremely fast the first time he ever drove it.
Oh, that could be either one, either Nigel Baines or Martin Carroll. So,
It's not an SDC motorsport guy. I'm thinking of a good friend of ours. We used to tell him, Jake, eat your vegetables.
yeah, the silent stalker.
That's him, buddy. That is absolutely right. And he was just a natural for this car. And it's just, Andrew Green reminds me of him a lot. The silent stalker, that's what we need some more nicknames for our V8 guys here. Guys, look at this. We got some things going on the track right now. It looks like Bo Cattell has made his way back out onto the track, and Andrew Green's going to come out right behind him. That is really close. Remember, guys, going into the pits, Andrew Green was right in front of Bo Cattell and Bo Kibis. He comes out right behind them, not in position, but just physically on the track.
A little contact for Bo Cattell on the wall there. Just clipped it.
Boy, he really did, Kane. He did clip it. I'm trying to see if the damage is bad. I think it's fine. I don't think it's anything other than minor cosmetic damage. Well, guys, here we are, lap 13 of our 30-lap race here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. It's week 11 of the V8's Americas series, and this is our running order at the current time. It's Marlon McMullen. He has led the entire race if you're just joining us. His teammate runs in second. That's Tobias Zerny, the other teammate of the Daco Ford Falcons. It's Curtis Chipaway in third. Fourth, it's Andrew Green for the moment. Back in fifth, it's Michael Fulcher. Back in sixth, it's Bo Cattell with Bo Kibis in seventh. Eighth is Justin Allen with Jake Burton in ninth. Rounding out our top 10, it's Sanjin Delilac. Back in 11th, it is Aaron Hamilton with Richard Stamenkovich. I'm going to say it perfect in a minute, is in 12th. Graham Bones Fyland is in 13th. 14th is Sam Collins. Martin Creamer's 15th. 16th, Michael Cracknell. Martin Carroll in 17th. Corey Preston in 18th. And Mark Anderson 19th. Unfortunately, guys, Mark Anderson, Corey Preston are out of the race. Their day is done. Marty Carroll, remember, had the early race. He is back out on track in the Simpit Ford Falcon, the only SDC Motorsports driver out here this week. And he had a rough start, but the car's back out. I love the determination to get out there and finish the race.
Yeah, the big battle on the track is the battle for 5th place. Bo Kibis, Bo Cattell, and the It Ain't Easy Being Green machine of Andrew Green having one heck of a battle here for that 5th place position.
Fantastic. Those two are really going at it. It's really fun watching them. And Kane, I tell you what, Bo Kibis, Bo Cattell are battling for position, and it is really fun. But I tell you what, I think it's a good time we check in here almost at the halfway point in our race. I think it's a great time we check in on what's happening in Split 2. So let's go check in with Jim Davey to find out what's happening in the second race.
Hey JD and Kane. So right now we've got Jason Scandalera leading the race. He's been leading from the start. Been watching a really great battle between Adam Harden and Wayne Kendall for second place. They've been going back and forth. Wayne had gotten the second place when Adam messed up in turn 1 a little bit, but then he lost it immediately from one of those course cutting penalties, and actually looks like he's messing up turn 1 again. And looks like Wayne Kendall's right on him again, so there might be a change of position shortly. But as it is right now, Chris Brooks 4th, Stephen Oldfield 5th, Jason Quire 6th, Tony Lynch 7th, Tim Briggs 8th, Rory Wyndham 9th, and Isaac DeFigueiredo in 10th. That being said, they are doing their pit stops right now, so that's going to be a little bit flexible there, but I'm pretty sure that's how it's going to end up after the pit stops are all said and done.
Awesome news, Jim.
A lot of new names in that field, or at least newer names. I haven't heard a lot of those names, so that's very good news.
There's a bunch of new people in this field. Tell you, there is one of the newer SDC guys. Oh, here we go. Wayne Kendall just took second place over Adam Harden. Adam had a course cut penalty, so once again it's starting to bite somebody.
Awesome news, Jim. Thanks so much.
Yeah, go ahead and mention the SDC guy. Who's the SDC guy in the
Okay.
race?
Oh, now you're
tonight?
going to make me find him again. Hold on.
I was just wondering if it was Sam.
No, a new guy actually. Phil Lines. I think
Oh,
this is
Phil
the
Lines.
first time I remember seeing him.
This is probably his first V8 Supercar Americas race.
I
He
think it
has
is.
driven the V8 Supercars quite a bit here lately. He focused a lot on ovals, but he's skilled in about anything he gets behind. So I would, if he's going to commit to the Americas series, I would look for him to do very well in the series.
I think he will. He take a look real quick. He for his first V8 race, he's doing very well. He's doing minute 43, minute 44 laps, which, I mean, considering some of the top guys in this race are doing 140s, that's not too far off.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. I mean, you're looking at the latter part of our field. Let's just look at like Michael Cracknell. Well, let's not. He's off the track at the moment, guys. Michael, that's not good for Michael Cracknell. But okay, Marty Carroll's running 140 right now. His last lap was a 140. So Justin Allen, his last lap was a 145. So he obviously had something going on that lap. But Justin Allen, 139, he's running 12th right now. So, I mean, that's just a kind of a guide. Our leader, Marlon McMullen, now his last lap, well, he made a pit stop.
Yeah,
It was 203.
Oh, that's a great time.
Yeah.
He was in the
Looks like the
37s,
field's
38s
cleared
last
on the
night.
pit stops now, so that is good news. Is our field is cleaned and the guys are where they're going to be, or at least where they are.
Kane. Also, Bo Cattell just made a pass on Andrew Green. It looks like he just passed him back because Andrew Green had him. Bo Cattell just made it back around. A beautiful pass right there. Oh, and Bo Cattell really loose coming out of the final chicane, and now he is able to rescue it, but that's a big opportunity for Andrew if he can make that capitalize on the situation. I don't think he'll be able to. He ran out of racing room there.
Yeah, once you get to that set of turns, any momentum, extra momentum that you had that has to be washed away so that you can get slowed down for the turns. So that opportunity has been lost.
Yeah, before we go on, I was saying it a minute ago, thanks a lot, Jim, for the update from the second split. Make sure you keep us posted throughout the remainder of the race.
Well, we actually just had a big incident. Looks like Adam Harden was downshifting to do his pit stop, and I'm pretty sure he just blew his motor.
No. Oh, tough stuff there.
Yep, so Adam Harden is going to be out in the number 3 car, the Mad Cow Racing, from 3rd position.
Guys, Bo Cattell may have just cut a corner here through the second chicane. I don't know if I don't think it gave it to him because he's still riding all out. Great battle, though, on the track right now. Look at Michael Fulcher and Bo Kibis. This is the battle for 4th place, guys. Very close. Here is a great battle on track. They're now heading down the long straightaway here at the final stretch at Montreal on lap 17 of 30. Michael Fulcher's held 4th place nearly the entire race. He started in 6th place. He jumped to 4th and has been there ever since. Another battle presumes right behind him. Bo Cattell, big problems. Just a few positions back, Kane. What happened?
Well, I think, Andrew Green was pushing Bo so hard for a couple laps there. I think he ended up getting to Bo. Bo was driving it extra hard that last lap. He made a couple mistakes because he was driving it so hard. That's how Andrew Green ended up getting away from him. It was in the hairpin. Bo ended up spinning the car nearly almost all the way around. And so Andrew got around him. And as they went into that last turn there, it looked like he cut the track and almost got he probably did get a cut track penalty, but as he exited the turn, he had to turn it so sharp to keep from hitting the wall that ultimately when he got back on the gas, it spun him right on around.
Tough break right there for Bo Cattell. Not all is lost, though. He's just lost all that time. Let's see if he can make it up. Marlon McMullen, a healthy lead for him, just over 6-second lead over Tobias. Tobias Zerny comfortably in second. Curtis comfortably in third. Michael Fulcher and Bo Cubis, though, still got a little battle going on. Andrew Green sits in between. Back in seventh now, it means it's Jake Burton and Sanjin Delilac Kane creeping in on Jake Burton. This could be a potential great battle here in just a minute.
Oh yeah, if Sanjin catches Jake Burton, that's going to be a fantastic battle. It looks like he's going to. He's making great time on Jake Burton. Jake had a good fast lap, but his pace has really kind of dotted off here in the last few laps.
Yeah, he really has. He's starting to gain a little bit of pace. Let's look at the last lap times by both of these drivers. Sanjin Delilac was a 138.8. We look at Jake Burton, and he ran a 139.0. So we're looking at that. Last lap was a little faster, so Sanjin, so he is inching ever closer. And we're only on lap 19 of 30. We're almost to the two-thirds of the way through this race, Kane, so anything's still very possible. We mentioned pre-race, slowdown penalties can cost the world, so you got to be careful. It ain't over till it's over. So many good racers out here. I'm telling you, we got some great talent in the Americas Series, Week 11, and this is just really good news for Marlon McMullen. If you're a Marlon McMullen fan, you have to be really happy right now. The competition is not in the race this week. You know, Marlon's doing fantastic. We mentioned how good he was pre-race at this track, and he's showing again. This is definitely one of his tracks. He is really showing out.
Yeah, I know last season when we were here, he was just fantastic. He performed very well here at Montreal, and he's doing it again.
Yeah, I recall him saying last night he just loves this track. It's just one that, it's like so many other drivers just have a track that just they naturally pick up, and Marlon just loves this track, and it just shows with his driving on it.
Yeah, his teammate Tobias Zerny, this is his favorite track, so Deco guys definitely enjoy Montreal.
Well, Kurt is better since he's from Canada.
Yeah, that is true. Home track for Curtis Chipaway, kinda.
They have been ragging on him some this week about it.
Man, just so many good cars out there right now. I'm watching this battle between Michael Fulcher and Bo Cubis. It's still a great battle. There's still about a car length in between the two drivers. Michael Fulcher really aggressive into this second chicane here. That may open up the door for Bo. He's out on the outside. Can he make the move? He's going to try to get the inside advantage, but that will be a disadvantage through the hairpin. He's going to have to close it now. He ran out of room. That's going to cost him some time. Michael Fulcher now slips, and now they'll be side by side as they head down the backstretch here at Montreal. Who will get the race to the finish line on lap 20? It's a great battle for fourth place between Bo Cubis and Michael Fulcher. It looks like Bo may have the advantage, but wait a minute, they're almost touching door to door as they get to the chicane, and it's going to be a beautiful pass by Bo Cubis to take fourth place.
That's some fantastic driving right there. Those guys are showing off their skill for sure.
Boy, I think they did that on purpose, Kane. They were door to door, literally centimeters from touching, and a beautiful dive into the chicane. Textbook pass by Bo Cubis. Bo now in the top four. He's in fourth, and he's now has a healthy little lead now over Michael Fulcher as well. He really took off on the beginning part of this lap. It's lap 21 of 30, and he is trying to get up there to third. He would love a podium, but he's got a long way to go to catch Kurt.
Sam Collins has managed to catch the moo car of Martin Creamers, and he finds himself around him with no trouble. And that moves him up into the 12th position.
The moo car of Martin Creamers, the Mad Cow Ford Falcon. You're right, he's moving it right now. He'd love to move up another spot in 12th right now. Remember, we talked a lot about Justin Allen, Kane. He had gained all those spots after falling to 16th. He does ride in 11th at the moment, and he's looking okay. He is the last car right now that on the lead lap, and it's just kind of fun watching him. We don't talk a lot about Justin Allen, kind of a newer name on here. He got really close to the wall, but he has definitely got some minor damage to the packaging and more Ford Falcon. Boy, you really get a sense of how hot the brakes get here when you watch these cars go into these chicanes. They're really on the brakes heavy. Car we haven't talked much about today, Aaron Hamilton. He's in 9th right now. No threat of losing his position at the moment. He is all by himself. And when you're like that, things look very promising. Behind him in 10th, it's Graham Filan. So welcome to the top 10, Bones.
Yeah, both of these guys got some pretty significant damage to the car. It's especially for Aaron Hamilton. He's got enough damage that I think it's cost him some time, but he's got enough space that I think he's going to end up being okay. But Graham's car a little beat up as well. Not bad though, just some scrapes along the side.
Kane, bad news for the NZ Motorsports driver Beau Cattell. It looks like his day is over here at Montreal. He's in the garage area and no intentions of returning out on track.
Yeah, bad luck for Beau Cattell as he just couldn't get things going quite the way he wanted here at Montreal. He had good speed, but I don't know, he just couldn't get the traction that he wanted.
Well, that's good news for Marty. Oh, Marty Carroll may have just spun out, Kane. He did in the hairpin. Not good news. He's already 4 laps down. He'll get a tow back to pit road. Oh no, Kane. His day is over. That's a blown engine. Oh, he blew it. Oh man, that thing blew hard. It's like an explosion under the hood.
Sanjay Delilah now has, boy, tongue twisted all up. Sanjay Delilah has caught Jake Burton now and is putting some serious pressure there for the 7th place.
Yeah, definitely blown. I had to check it just to make sure, and listening to the engine sound, it is definitely gone. So tough break there for Marty Carroll. Looks like his day will end in 15th place. So Kane, we got a few drivers out of this thing. For those of you that may have joined us just now, we're on lap 23 of 30 and we're rounding out this race nicely. But bad news for certain drivers. Beau Cattell, Martin Carroll, Richard Staminovic, Michael Cracknell, Corey Preston, and Mark Anderson all out of the race. But everybody else still well in this race. Martin Creamer's the last car that's a lap down. The first car that's a lap down is Sam Collins, who's just went a lap down just a moment ago. He just got passed by Beau Cattell now. And we go up. You know what? Let's just go ahead and do this final rundown before we get ready to look at the end of this race. Marlon McMullen is your leader with Tobias Zerny in 2nd. Curtis Chipaway is in 3rd. Beau Cattell is in the 4th position with Mike Fulcher back in 5th. Andrew Green in 6th with Jake Burton 7th. Sanjay Delilah is in the 8th position. 9th place is Aaron Hamilton. Graham Filan is in 10th. Justin Allen is 11th. 12th place belongs to Samuel Collins with Martin Creamers in 13th. We already mentioned 14th through 19th who are in the garage area, so that is how we run here. Almost just 6 laps to go.
Let's check in with Jim Davey to see how they're going in the 2nd split.
Yeah, so right now we're getting ready to start lap 24. Jason Scandalera in the LED Innovations car is running first, followed by Wayne Kendall in 2nd place in his privateer entry. Chris Brooks in the Sim Instruments Ford Falcon is running 3rd. Stephen Oldfield is running 4th. Isaac DeFigueredo in the Zach Baker, I think it's Zach Baker Racing.
It is ZBR, baby.
That's right. He's running 5th. Jason Quire is running 6th. Tony Lynch running 7th. Rory Windrum running 8th. Tim Briggs is 9th. And Michael Bridges is running 10th. Unfortunately, our SDC driver Phil Lines had some connection issues. He is 15th now. He was about to jump a spot up to 14th due to Adam Harden's earlier troubles, but he disconnected just before it happened.
Tough break there for Phil Lines. Thanks for that update, Jim. Always a pleasure. The next time we'll be talking to you, we'll be hearing about the win of the race. Same is as here. We're already getting down to the nitty-gritty time here in our top split. It's lap 25. Marlon McMullen sliding around the track. Tobias Zerny has closed that gap from 6.5 seconds down to just a little over 3 seconds. So Tobias Zerny now in striking distance of maybe taking the victory. I don't know if he'll do it, but if Marlon McMullen feels a little bit of pressure from Tobias and he slips up and gets a slowdown, it's an easy pass for Tobias Zerny.
I think it would take a lot to make Marlon McMullen feel a lot of pressure to make a mistake that he wouldn't make without the pressure. You know, sometimes you just kind of mess up. But Marlon McMullen's pretty cool under pressure. A lot of these top guys are. Now with some serious curve there, he may have got to slow down on that one.
Yeah, Kane, he may have got one. He really nailed that curb. I was worried about it. I don't think he did. He looks like he's okay. If he did, he's got a black flag now, but I think he's fine. But it did look like he jumped that curb bad. Let's check in on one of the big battles of the race. It's kind of calmed down now. Bo Kibis and Michael Fulcher, those two have definitely separated out. In fact, he's actually closer now to Andrew Green. Andrew was up in the 4th position before pit stops, now back in 6th. So Andrew needs to catch a little bit of time here on these last 4 laps to try to get back up into the top 5. Jake Burton and Sanjin Delali having some fun for the battle for 7th, Kane. Sanjin really chipping away at this little bit of a lead from Jake Burton in the Sim Instruments Ford Falcon. It is a really close battle between these two. It's a lot closer than what the time says because Sanjin is really close.
Yeah, I'm sure Jake is feeling that pressure from Sanjin, but Jake doing well to maintain pace and don't seem like he's being pressured too much by Sanjin, or he's not succumbing to the pressure anyway.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Yeah, that's what the sign says. You know, it's the French Canadian.
Yeah.
Gotta have fun
French.
here.
Flashbacks
It's a good
of
thing
high
you
school.
explained that it was on a sign. That's why you shouted out like that.
He's weird. Let's just roll with it.
Oh man, I tell you what.
Napa.
While I'm saying bonjour, Marlon McMullen is saying goodbye because he is riding out with this thing. He has upped his lead from just a little over 3 seconds back to over 5. So things are looking very promising for the 2-time defending V8 Americas champion. He is riding on his way to a victory, barring nothing crazy happens. Maybe he doesn't stop and redesign like I did. But I'm telling you, man, the black and red Daco Ford Falcon has led this entire race from the pole, and he just looks very, very promising right now. This has got to do so much for the confidence of Marlon. I know that Sean Kelly's not here tonight, but you got to think this has got to help him going into the final week, Kane. I don't know exactly what the point differential is going into the race today between Sean Kelly and Marlon McMullen for the lead in points, but I think that this is definitely not going to hurt. I think this has got to help some.
Oh, it definitely will. I think it's got to. It's the confidence boost going into the final race is going to be good, but also he'll gain some of those points back that he was down. Now, he was down quite a bit of points. I don't know if it'll be enough after the drops, but it's still going to close him in that much further than what it would if Sean were here tonight. So it will help, and it's going to be exciting going into the next race.
Yeah, it looks like Marlon was down about 85 points. I think I'm doing my math right. Don't hold me to it. So
That's about what it was. I don't know
it's,
the exact number. It was around 85 points whenever I looked earlier today. I didn't, like you, I didn't do the exact math. I just kind of said, that's about 85.
right. Yeah. So good enough for government work. And I'm pretty sure that Marlon has a better drop week coming up than Sean does, so it might help him out a little bit tonight.
It's good news for Marlon McMullen, but we'll see how it turns out. Remember, guys, that final week is next week at Phillip Island. It is one of my favorite tracks in the V8. It is going to be a really good finishing race. I think it's going to be a big surprise.
It is also Sean Kelly's favorite track. I think I heard him mention.
Oh boy, that's not good for Marlon McMullen. He needs to do really well and hope for the best from Sean, or hope for the worst from Sean, I guess, depending on who you're looking from. Jake Burton holding down this lead. I thought Sanjin Delilac was going to get him, but job well done there by Jake Burton to hold 7th place. He looks really confident up there. He's not letting Sanjin's presence bother him at all.
Tell you what, Andrew Green has caught the 5th place car of Michael Fulcher and has put in some serious pressure on him. With 2 laps to go, Andrew Green might end up in that 5th place.
Oh, Kane, here he is trying to peek a little bit out. He's trying to get a nose in on Michael Fulcher's KRT machine. He won't be able to do it through turns 1 and 2, but watch closely as this lap continues. There's going to be a passing opportunity just up the road here, and then watch for Andrew Green to make his move. Michael Fulcher, a fantastic V8 Supercar driver.
To the wall.
Kane. He is just an absolutely wonderful V8 Supercar driver. Michael Fulcher never seems to amaze me. So you have a veteran like Michael Fulcher and then a newcomer in Andrew Green. This is going to be great battle to the end by these two. And this is a top 5 spot we're battling for, boys.
Yeah, Fulcher's managed to pull back away a little bit, put a couple of car length distance between he and Andrew Green. Now, I don't think Andrew's done. I think he'll catch up to him and put some more pressure on him, but Mike Fulcher doing a great job.
Yeah, and we look a little bit ahead of these two, and is Bo Kubis riding away with 4th up there, and so pretty much 4th, 3rd, and 2nd and 1st are really spread apart. This is our first big battle between the front runners, so it's really fun watching these guys battle for that 4th position. Right now, you're right, though, Kane. Michael Fulcher starting to run away from him a little bit, but don't count him out yet.
Yeah, they were down to under half a second when they were battling there. Now over a second between Fulch and Andrew Green.
Well, guys, the white flag is out, and now our Power Bond Racing driver Marlon McMullen on the final lap here in week 11. He is all the way up by himself, and a free road to a victory awaits. Boy, he has just had a fantastic race, boys. White flag in the air. He has got a 6.6 lap lead at the start of this lap over Tobias Zerny, his teammate. And now he is coming around the final hairpin here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Marlon McMullen down the backstretch for the final time today. Here on lap 30, it looks like it's all she wrote. And this will go down as another win for Marlon McMullen here at his favorite, one of his favorites in Montreal. Here's the final chicane. The only screw up he could have is to hit the wall or get a slowdown. And I think he's okay and he's going to take a crazy finish here. A great win. Congratulations to the two-time champ Marlon McMullen winning Montreal. Back in second now, Tobias Zerny comes across in the final podium spot. Will go. It'll be an all-power bond podium as Curtis Chipaway takes third. The battle between Bo Kibis and Michael Fulcher will end with Bo Kibis in fourth. Michael Fulcher back in fifth, battling with Andrew Green. This is the newer battle as these two have battled, and it will be Michael Fulcher edging out and getting the final top five as a sixth place finish for Andrew Green. Jake Burton and Sanjay Delilah, that is your seventh and eighth place finishes. Aaron Hamilton will come across ninth. Bone will finish 10th. Justin Allen should come across 11th. Sam Collins 12th. 13th, Martin Creamers. Bo Cattell 14th. Marty Carroll 15th. 16th, Richard Stamenkovich. Michael Cracknell 17th. 18th, the enforcer, Corey Preston. And finally, Mark Anderson of Kamikaze Racing, rounding out our 19-car field. Guys, we're 1 week to the finale of the season.
You know, you mentioned Mark Anderson. I do want to give a shout-out to Mark and want to give a big get well soon out to his doggy. His dog got attacked at the beginning of the week here by a pack of 3 dogs. His 7-year-old daughter was out walking the dog, and when 3 random dogs came up and just started attacking his dog, it scared the daylights out of his daughter. I hope she's doing okay. I'm sure she was traumatized by the ordeal. Luckily, they left her alone, but they did tear up the dog really bad. He is doing better. Yeah, he looks like he's going to make a full recovery, but get well soon, little doggy.
Absolutely, Kane. I hate that's a terrible, terrible thing. But look at the Power Bond top 3 doing a 3-car burnout. This is what it's all about, guys. This is teamwork, and I love to see these teams doing so well because you know at the start of next season we will have our first ever team championship, and that is going to be absolutely remarkable. Dayco Ford Falcons, the Power Bond team, is definitely showing that they are ready for a team championship. Very symbolic finish today with these 3 burning out together. They're showing they're ready, guys.
Yeah, no pressure now, thanks.
That's right. Jim Davey is the reasoning for this. He is the man behind the magic. Jim, Soon, that's right.
Trademark.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's bring on our special guest for just a second to have a couple words about the finale of this race. And Paul, welcome back to the show. Tell us a little bit about what you saw out there today, buddy.
Man, it's great racing. I was watching the battle with Fulcher for a while. He kind of cracks me up at the end. He was doing donuts like he won the race. So it was a great battle. I know he was fighting Green for a long time, so I guess he was just happy just to beat him and still finish in the top 5. But yeah, great race for Marlon, great win for his team. But yeah, overall just excellent racing tonight on a very, very tough track that's tough on the brakes and everything. Everyone seemed to manage it very well.
Yes, they really did. This is a tough track. We talked about that pre-race. I thought that it was a big win for Marlon McMullen. He really needed this just for confidence and points reasons, but very impressive. I think it's about time to close out this and get started with the Get Dirty MX post-race show. So guys, don't go anywhere. It's now officially the Get Dirty MX post-race show. Welcome all. I'm JD Smith, Kane Craft with me, and Jim Davey alongside, and also a special guest in the booth tonight, Paul Slavonik from In Racing News. And we're about to bring the drivers in for driver interviews. And guys, what a fantastic race tonight. It really was. It wasn't the most exciting for the lead, but it was a great race all around. This is a very difficult track. We saw a lot of drivers have unfortunate endings. We had several ended in the garage areas, so several DNFs tonight. But for the rest of the field, I thought they ran a really good race. We didn't see as many slowdowns as we typically do here, Kane. You really nailed it on the head. The guys are doing a lot better with the slowdowns. I think more time they've spent on the track, they know the limitations, and they really executed well tonight. Without further ado, though, I have to say it's about time to get this party started. Let's bring in our winner, Marlon McMullen. Marlon, welcome to the Get Dirty MX post-race show. How are you doing? First of all, congratulations on the well-deserved victory, buddy. How are you?
Cheers for that. Yeah, I'm all right. A little bit angry at myself that I got that slow down in the end, so I sort of pushed myself in that last stint really, really fast.
Well, really just pure dominant performance. You get the pole, set the pole. It looked great. I get in there, and then I'm looking around, and I say, well, Marlon's on the pole. Where's Sean Kelly?
I was questioning that myself, don't worry.
Well, it definitely has to boost up. It definitely has to boost up the confidence for you, man. I know that you just needed a win, and this is just one of those tracks for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely is. I seem to really enjoy the straight tracks. I don't know if it's my ragged sort of knife edge driving with the point-to-point accuracy, but yeah, I just love, getting it sideways, putting it as close as the wall as possible, and yeah, I just love pushing as hard as you can. Unfortunately, I got to slow down, and yeah, there's not much you can do. Unfortunately, I did the crime, so I had to deal with the time. Sorry. So yeah, it's just the way racing goes. But I had a really good race, and it's really good to see Tobias and Curtis up there as well. So they're doing really good lately as well.
Yeah, they really are. That's another thing I want to bring up is how about it? An all power bond podium. That is awesome, and I love the way you guys finished the race there. I like the y'all doing the burnouts together at the end there. Very symbolic as we head to our first ever team championship season next year, Jim.
What? I'm sorry. Oh, you're talking to me now. Okay.
That's right. Marlon, congratulations on the victory, buddy. I thought it was spectacular. I was really proud of you. Don't go anywhere. I do want to bring in Jim Davey real quick. He has a report from our second split race. Jim, please tell us how second split finished, buddy.
It was good. Jason Scandalera managed to hold on to the lead for the win in the LED Innovations car. Wayne Kendall was making big time on him at the end, though. With his privateer entry, he ended up second place. And Chris Brooks ended up third in his Sim Instruments Ford Falcon. Stephen Oldfield came in fourth. Isaac de Figueredo came in fifth. Jason Quire sixth. Tony Lynch seventh. Rory Windrum eighth. Tim Briggs ninth. Michael Bridges 10th. Shane Rayner 11th. Michael Perigros, I hope I said that right, it's a newcomer, 12th place. Peter Simons 13th. David Dudley 14th. Adam Harden, 15th. That was a very big disappointment for him. Phil Lines, our SDC driver, came in 16th. Michael Jeffries, 17th. And we had somebody that signed up, but I guess just never got out of the garage. Toronto Twinrow was 18th.
What a name, Toronto Twinrow. Like
it's
that.
A pretty neat name, isn't it?
It is pretty cool. But thanks for the update from our second split, Jim. And as always, buddy, don't you go anywhere. We got plenty of talking to you to do. But without further ado, we got some drivers to interview. Let's move on to another Power Bond driver, the second place finisher tonight, Tobias Zerny, joining us. Know it's late there, or really, really early, Tobias. Welcome to the Get Dirty MX post-race show, buddy.
Yeah, hello guys, hello JD, and Kane, of course, and all the other drivers. Yeah, it was unfortunately a bit some kind of a quiet race for us, but of course a phenomenal result for Powerbond Racing 1-2-3 here.
That was absolutely beautiful. You guys pulled off a fantastic finish, an all podium. The Dayco cars looked good. We had the red and black, the teal and black, and the purple and black right there, 1, 2, 3. That really was a nice accomplishment for you guys.
Yeah, thank you. I wasn't really sure if I got the pace somehow. I'm struggling this season here. I think it's the wind really causing me issues here into the final chicane. Can't get the car turned in, so I really feel not confident in the final chicane. And yeah, I was basically just looking to avoid any slowdowns I could get there.
Yeah, the slowdowns are always a big danger when we come to Montreal. Did you have any problem with them tonight, majorly?
No, I didn't got a slowdown, but I got a few off tracks here and there, which were unnecessary. Yeah, but I was really playing it easy. Once, yeah, Marlon was running away at the front. I directly lost the slipstream, I guess, after the first 3 corners. I won the start, but couldn't get it turned in for turn one, and yeah, that was a huge disadvantage for me. And yeah, once Curtis fell off, the pressure released as well, and I was just cruising there, hoping to finish the race without getting turned. So, I mean, regarding this, the effort this time was way better than last week. Yeah, so, and also the points, yeah, 191 points for the second. It's okay, quite okay, yeah.
Very nice, Tobias. Thank you so much for coming in and having a chat, buddy. Don't go anywhere. I know that it's super late for you, but I'm gonna bring in your teammate Curtis real quick and to have a chat with him. He had a great race as well. So without further ado, let's bring in the final Power Bond driver of the night and the final spot on the podium. Curtis, welcome to the Get Dirty MX Post Race Show. Congratulations on the podium finish. It seems like that third spot on that podium's becoming a permanent spot for you, Curtis. We need to just go ahead and etch your name in there.
Yeah, it certainly feels like that sometimes. I was playing catch up with Marlon all week, and then Tobias came in and started playing catch up with him as well. So.
Well, I think you're looking at it as a down thing. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I thought you had a great race, man. Finishing third is really impressive. This is a tough track. Montreal is difficult. Marlon loves it, but to the rest of the world, it's a tough track. And I thought you did very well tonight. You really were never in any threat from any of the other drivers behind you that I saw. Tell us a little bit about it, though.
Yeah, I had a pretty good race. I had no cars around me. I had good pace. This is my first time in Montreal, so I was still trying to learn the track.
Still trying to learn the track as you finish third. That's quite impressive, Curtis. That's great news, buddy. I was very excited. It was really cool seeing the Power Bond team finish 1, 2, 3. I know that had to make you feel good.
Yeah, I feel great about our podium finishes. It's the only thing that came me down is taking out Bo on the first lap there. I want to apologize for that, but I think it was a little bit of netcode as well. So, these things happen.
Absolutely. I'm sure Bo knows it's not intentional. Absolutely great to have you on the show, buddy. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to get some more drivers in here, and we got some special things for tonight's post-race show. We got a great special guest that I want to interview, and you guys all need to hear the interview. I think you're really going to enjoy it. So without further ado, let's move on a little bit. I'm going to bring in a guy who had a great race, Bo Kubis.
Long stints in the race.
Bo, welcome to the Get 30 MX post-race show, buddy. How are you doing?
Yeah, good, JD. How you going?
Fantastic, Bo. What a fantastic race for you tonight. You actually saw the majority of the action on the track tonight. Got a lot of good camera time tonight, buddy. It was a good battling from you.
Yeah, thanks, JD. It was exactly what I wanted to see. Good fun race, not too serious, just fun.
Yeah, the Canadian Club Bottle Ford Falcon finished in fourth, and we saw you battle several times with Michael Fulcher, a little bit with Andrew Green, and actually one time you and Bo Cattell, Bo Cattell had a great battle going on. You started third and you finished fourth. A great race, man. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, for once I got a good start. I modified the V2 pedal, clutch pedal, and it got a good start. Curtis and I had a little bit of a coming together on turn 2 or 3, but then it caused me to get a cut track. But so yeah, I dropped back about 8th or so, and just had to pick my way back through the field, sort of thing,
Absolutely, brother. It was fun watching. You kept your cool really well under pressure.
Yeah, it wasn't until I got a cut track about lap 3 or 4 in the same spot because of my own wrongdoing. That's when I sort of got a little bit verbal with myself, but yeah, all fun.
Now, you weren't able to hear because we hadn't brought you in yet, but Curtis did throw out a big sorry your direction and during his interview, so he was aware and he was very sympathetic for getting you that cut track.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for that, Curtis. Curtis and I discussed it after the race, and yeah, no hard feelings at all.
Well, you got to love that. Bo, thanks so much. Hang around. We got a lot of special things to talk about in a hurry. Got a special guest for us here as well. We'll get to that in just a second. Let's bring in Michael Fulcher, who had a great battle with Bo for quite some time. Michael, welcome to the Get Dirty MX Post Race Show. And let's just go ahead and first off and say congratulations. Had a great race tonight, Michael.
Yeah, g'day JD, Kane, boys. Very happy with it. Yeah, thank you.
It looked fantastic out there. We just got through talking with Bo Cubis, and he was letting us know how he had a good time battling with you out there on the track. And it was fun watching the KRT machine. You look very strong tonight. I really thought you looked very, very smooth, and it was really good. You got some great camera time in those battles with Bo.
It's great. I was hoping you caught that one. It was pretty exciting. I was holding him off, and it surprised me because Bo's on that verge of being alien human sort of level, you know. And I couldn't believe I was holding him off. But once I made that little mistake, it unfolded quite an exciting couple of corners. Just couldn't run with him after that. I did pit pretty early, and I am hard on tyres, so I just couldn't run with him after that. But I had fun trying to hold Andrew off for the last couple of laps. He was charging hard.
Yeah, absolutely. Andrew Green was fantastic out there, and it was really fun watching you guys back and forth. And tell you what, tell us a little bit about the pit stops tonight. We kind of missed out on them. They happened. Seemed like everybody kind of did it early.
Yeah, well, especially a track like this, you know, a lot of tracks like Oran Park and that as well, track position is so important. So hard to overtake. There's only a couple of opportunities, and some of them are quite dangerous. So I tried to get undercut. That's purely why I came in early, hoping I can close a little bit in on Curtis, a little bit of pressure on him, which I did close in compared to what I was. But yeah, those boys are just too quick today. But purely for that undercut, get some laps on the fresher tyres while the other guys are still on the older tyres, and try and jump a few spots like that.
Absolutely, brother. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to bring in Jake Burton real quick for a word with him. Jake, welcome to the Get Dirty MX Post Race Show, pal. How you doing?
I'm all right, JD. How are you?
Doing good, man. Tell us a little bit about your race tonight in the Sim Instruments Ford Falcon.
Yeah, it wasn't a great race, I'll be honest. And it was no one else's fault but my own, really. Just massive lack of practice. Been busy all week doing the because I'm doing the Race of Champions 9 video this season, so I've pretty much dedicated my whole week to that. But yeah, just not my favourite track either. My consistency was just poor. I think I had the same pace as Michael Fulcher and Andrew Green, but problem was I got 4 slowdowns and came out behind some back markers out of the pits. It just cost me all race, and I just wasn't consistent enough and didn't have the pace. But yeah, just not a great race.
Well, finished in the 7th position tonight, and you know, that's not too bad, really. You started 12th, so you got to look at it as a positive, and 4 slowdowns as well, and still pulling off 7th. Not too bad.
Yeah, I'm happy where I finished considering where I started for sure. I just need to work on my qualifying. I've only done 1 qualifying lap this week, which is why I was starting all the way back down in 12th. But yeah, I'll definitely be back for next week, and yeah.
Oh, well, we definitely look forward to it, Jake, as we head off to our finale at our great Phillip Island. I love it to death. Let's bring in Marty Carroll real quick and have a chat with you know what? I always make Bones wait. Let's bring in Bones. Hey, Bones, welcome to the Get Dirty MX post-race show, and how are you?
Hello, JD, Kane. How you going, guys?
Oh, fantastic, buddy. And a good night for you. Bones, had fun watching you there. You're still rocking that awesome patriotic paint scheme there for us Americans. We love seeing the stars and stripes out there, buddy. But a great job tonight.
How about we like to party over here. I'm still at the party. Yeah, we're the last to leave. But yeah,
it's always a party for him.
Yeah, I was about to say, Bones, you probably always have a party somewhere.
It was a 3 beer drive to, so it was all right.
Absolutely. But
yeah,
top
it was yeah, no, real happy to get 10 after the first or second corner. Richard Tavanovic sort of lost his front end a little bit, I think. It just me and turned me around. I got a little bit of damage out of that, but yeah, it was good to see Richard back. He he used to race with the Americas there in the early days for a fair bit. It was good to see him back, but yeah, a bit of bad luck there. It wasn't. Yeah, you can see he lost his front end and clipped me and turned me around, but yeah, that was all good. But yeah, after that it was just a matter of staying there. I didn't take the optional repairs at the pit stop and sort of lose too much time and just kept trugging around. But the car still felt all right. So yeah, no, I was real happy with top 10.
Oh, it's definitely a good call. Top 10 here. We're going to Phillip Island next week, pal. I want to say that you're going to be excited and you're going to do well next week, right?
Oh, yeah, I like Phillip Island, but it doesn't like me, like a lot of us guys. It's over here. It just it doesn't like us. But yeah, we'll see. I'll probably do some practice this week. Soon it's a home track and it's just up the road.
Sounds great, buddy. Hang tight. Let me bring
JD.
in. Yep.
This is the first time I've checked the YouTube comments all race long. Sean Kelly was actually watching tonight. He's sick, like Marlon was sick a couple weeks ago. Apparently, Sean Kelly's sick just as bad and had to miss because
oh no,
he's sick as a dog and watching tonight.
He was spotting for me tonight. He's really out of it. But still, he's pretty much wrapped up the championship. So good on Sean. But still, he's out of it this week. He's got the flu.
Oh, hope you get better, Sean. Take all your meds, man. Get back to normal. We missed you out on the track tonight, that's for sure. So we'll hope to see him in the final next week. I'm sure he'll be back to normal, back to his normal self, and it'll be good to see him back out on the track. Let's bring in Marty Carroll real quick before we get started on some great things tonight here on the post-race show. Without further ado, last but not least, my good friend Marty Carroll from SDC Motorsports. Marty, my ears are still ringing from the sound of that blown engine, buddy. Tell me about it.
Oh, I don't know. I thought you made Bones wait till the end, but I'm in here anyway. I'll tell you about it.
I always make Bones. Here's the thing.
Always surprised, mate.
I always make Bones wait till the end. So at the last second, I said, you know what? I'm going to bring in Marty last this time. He'll be back and clean up. And so that's exactly what we
I've already got a toothache, and then you make me sit there for 20 minutes before I come in.
Is he crying? Sounds like crying.
Unbelievable. I thought we were friends, JD, and that, but
And all I can do is try, buddy. I think you're just trying to avoid telling us about what happened with that engine, man.
Just from the opening lap incident where Curtis and Bo had a little touch going into 3 there, and Bo had to slow down, and then see Mark and Andrew were coming through, and Mark lifted, and Sanjin just tapped him in the back, and sort of as we all checked up, me and Jake checked up, plenty of room, and then Aaron Hamilton sort of forgot where his brake pedal was and drove me into Sanjin and Mark, and sort of put a bit of a hindrance on me race from then on. So 5 minutes required, and sort of the damage that I sustained from that sort of wouldn't last the next 25 laps I had to complete. So
Marty
did make a big bang when it went.
Hey, I tell you what though, I loved about tonight's race though from you. After the incident, you went into pit road. It did take a while to get the car repaired, and you never gave up. You got back out there. You were 3 or 4 laps down, and you never gave up until the car literally blew up. And that's what you got to have. It's that drive, that never give up attitude, and I love that, man. That's what you got to have, and I was very proud of you for that.
Yeah, with the boys are pretty spread out this time of year, and so with limited representation, I'm not just going to just quit out of the race. We've got the sim pit on the side of the car, and make sure you get over and watch their shows, and for Spotty Dog Cakes and V8 Supercars New Zealand, so with the broadcast race, it's not you know, if you got to sit there for 4 minutes and get repaired, then you do it and get back out there and at least show a face and not get in anyone's way.
Sounds good, Marty. Marty, I tell you what, speaking of spotty dog cakes, when are you going to send me a box of them cupcakes?
I'll get on to Nigel and see if Sophie can cry back some and send them down to you and Kane for doing such an awesome job.
That's what I'm talking about, buddy. Some spotty dog cakes
Tell you
right
what,
here.
yeah, it might cost you like $80-90 to send those cupcakes over here.
Well, I don't know. I'm still waiting for my trophy somewhere that's sitting in Kane's cupboard. But, you know.
I want to take a picture of it. That way you at least got a nice
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah, at least send me a picture so I can print it out and stick it on my wall.
Oh, I can taste the cupcake now. Oh, it's gonna have poison in it. It's gonna be
I want
hilarious.
a cupcake.
I know. All right. Well, before we all get on cupcakes, guys, once again, for those of you that may have just joined us, welcome to the Get Dirty MX post-race show. We just finished with driver interviews. Congratulations to Marlon McMullen, the two-time v8 Americas champ, on winning here at Montreal here in week 11. Fantastic performance. But now it's time. I brought a very special guest this week, and we are very thankful to have him. He writes for In Racing News on the V8 Supercars all the time and writes fantastic articles. If you've never had a chance to go read any of Paul's writings, please do. They're absolutely amazing. So without further ado, I'd love to welcome to the post-race show, Paul Slavonic.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Woo-hoo. Pretty good, Paul, and happy to have you here. We enjoyed having you throughout the race. It was fun having you there. But wanted to have you here on the post-race show because all the drivers are here. It's probably you don't get a chance to. You write about the drivers a lot, but don't get a chance to talk to them probably all at one place like we have here on the post-race show. It's kind of a special thing we do here at v8sonline now. And but anyways, I wanted to ask you a few questions about what you do. Just kind of tell us about what you do when you watch races and write about them. Is there a certain pattern that you follow, only certain races, or just kind of fill us in a little bit?
Well, I cover the V8s and as well as the GT3 races, and since the V8s have, you know, a specific time where they have the strength of field races, it just so happens to be at 5 o'clock in the morning on Monday morning. So I have to get up at on Monday mornings, and what really happens most of the time is I'll turn it on, I'll watch the first few laps, and then I have to start getting ready for work. And then what I do, since I have a pretty slack desk job, I usually just sit at work and watch the race, and I'll just take notes as I'm watching the race on, you know, lap numbers and who did what on what lap, so I can go back and get some more details on it. But yeah, ever since I kind of took this over, I mean, I'm not sure who was writing before, but I mean, I was asked by the editor of iRacing News to, you know, I guess whoever did jump ship to if I'd be interested in doing it, because I remember when I first started writing articles, I was doing some for the v8 Americas, and then I kind of got swamped with that and doing other stuff. So yeah, for some reason he asked me to do it, but yeah, I'm glad to be here. I mean, it's a really great series, and especially getting to know the drivers and everything. Like I know on the forums I mentioned before, I've chatted with Burton and Fulcher, and McMullen as well. So they've given me some good feedback as far as making the articles better, mentioning the team names and everything, to make sure that all the hard work that they put into these races is rewarded. So I'm really doing the best that I can to make sure that comes through.
Paul, you just touched on this a little bit. My next question was, how did you get into doing the In Racing newsletters? How did it, you mentioned that the editor came to you, but how did that come about? Were you writing stuff before, or, and then once that happened, how did you pick yourself the series that you covered, or was it assigned to you?
Well, what had happened is there was a post on the iRacing homepage, like looking for writers for iRacing News. I guess they just needed a handful, and I called him up. His name is David Phillips. He's the editor, and we talked for a bit. And they were actually looking for someone to write articles for the Grand Prix series. But I guess I had just missed it. Apparently, that they had pulled someone who was doing the broadcasts, and they actually went on to write the for the Grand Prix series. But he asked me, he's like, would you be interested in doing the GT3 series, because we don't have anyone else doing that. So I agreed to that, and then he said, if you have an odd article here and there you wanted to write about, let me know. I'll read through it, and if it's worth publishing, I'll publish it and everything. So I, just did my best to stay really consistent with the GT3 series. I think at that particular time, v8sonline was actually broadcasting their own strength of field race for the GT3 series, which was pretty simple to follow. Now there's not really any set schedule, so it's kind of different than how it was before. But yeah, and as far as that, when I said, when I first started, everything was kind of just assigned to me. Now I kind of just, if I see a need to write an article, like I just wrote one today on chump car racing, which is kind of on the rise here in North America. You just kind of write it, and then if you can pull it out of your butt, make it sound good, then you go for it. So yeah, you just kind of, it's cool to have the creative juices just to go with it and everything. And I definitely would like to pursue this like as a career almost if I can. It's probably take the freelance route for a while, but this is a great first start and getting your foot into the motorsport industry. Even if it's just riding for sim racing, it's still racing, and it's still drivers from all over the world racing cars. So it's as it can get without smelling like gasoline.
And you do a great job too, Paul.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. It's really, really good to hear the feedback. And I'm looking at some of the names that that are on here, and I'm hoping I didn't say anything bad about anybody. So I haven't got an earful yet. So far so good.
Well, Paul, one of the things that I wanted to know, and Kane's probably curious as well, as you mentioned that v8sonline had a series at the time with the GT3. Did you utilize the broadcast, or now do you utilize broadcast to help gather race information or things you may have missed, or do you just strictly watch it from a spectator point?
I do a little bit of both. Now it's more from a spectator point. With the V8s, it's a little hard because the main strength of field race isn't being broadcasted, except for the Bathurst race. I think it was actually Kane that helped host that, or host the broadcast. But since they're not doing the broadcast regularly anymore, or at least for the time being, it makes it a little harder to find all the stuff, because I mean, especially like on a 50-lap race like last week at Oran Park, I mean, it was a lot of close racing with so many laps, and you try to find every major battle that's going on. And when you have it like on the iRacing setting, when you're watching the replay to help find some of the most exciting scenes, it doesn't find everything, so you kind of have to do some digging. So that's really the challenging part, is making sure that all the great battles are recorded and documented and everything. So not just the winners, but the people who are out there doing the most fighting, get the most or get the credit as well.
Absolutely, man. Well, I've asked you a little bit, a handful of questions. I'm sure that some of the drivers have a question or two, maybe even about something you wrote about them. I don't know.
Be nice, please.
Yeah. Anybody have anything they want to ask Paul?
I just wanted to say, Paul, if you ever got stuck and needed replays, we keep all the strength of field replays for our fan page with STC Motorsports. So we're happy to help out in any way we can if you happen to miss a race or anything like that.
Absolutely.
And your write-ups have been awesome. Like you mentioned Oran Park battle with Michael Fulcher and one of our drivers, James McKnight. Like for 10th and 11th. Your write-ups have been really enjoyable to read, and keep up the good work.
Well, thanks. I remember that one. I mean, it's a shame that McKnight eventually went into the wall on the last turn over there. I remember that was a pretty defining moment for Fulcher to be able to get past him and everything. But I mean, great battles take place all over the track, whether it's first or last. I mean, it's still a great fight to watch, and that's what I like to watch. And sometimes even the great battles in the back, because they're fighting for every single inch they can get. Sometimes they're actually better than the battles up front. Sometimes. So,
yeah, especially when bringing teams next season. And JD and Kane are the same when they broadcast. Like, they look to focus on the battles right through the field. They don't just sit up at the front 3 or 5. They really concentrate on getting all the battles.
Yeah, and that's one thing I actually really struggled with at first when I first kind of took over writing for the V8s. I kind of fell victim to that, just writing about the top drivers that were just, it's pretty much the same guys almost finishing every week in the same spots, with Down and Hampstead pretty much dominating the series almost all the time. I think Ellis has taken a few races as well, but I think it was Fulcher that actually told me, said, why don't you talk about more of the race, bring up some team names? And that's kind of when I really started to dive into it and learn all the team names. And I forgot who it was that kind of pasted a link to all the team names. I'm like, holy crap, that's a lot of teams. So I kind of keep that open while I'm writing this stuff up, as I always forget the team names, as there's so many of them. But now that I'm kind of getting into it more, you see more of the regular teams and everything, and you start to recognize their cars and stuff. So it's kind of feel a little bit more like home to me.
Well,
you're doing
Paul,
a fantastic job, mate. Fantastic job,
he
and
is.
it makes the
Great
Monday
job, mate.
split that much more exciting. And wake up the next day and think, "Oh, did I make the news today?" It's really good.
Yeah, I try to have it done the day after. I have to be careful how I say this. I actually write these articles while I'm at work. So I got to be a little careful. I try to
None of
sneak
us
around
do that.
because the way my computer faces is no one can see what I'm doing. So I try to be sneaky with it and everything. And I just try to do it not as fast as I can, but I just proofread it like 10 times and everything. But yeah, I'm glad I can really just dig deep into this series. And like I was telling JD before we came on, the best thing about this series is because it's small, it's such a close-knit community. Unlike the GT3, which it has some great racing, a lot more whiners in it, but still great racing. Um, a lot of the guys here are just the regular guys. I mean, people that are in the Americas race today, like Fulcher, and I mean, you guys are racing in the strength of field races, so it's like you see the names, you start to recognize everybody, and then breaking into that community for me has been, a really fun ride. I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to when I can actually start participating in these races again.
yeah, it's awesome. It really is, Paul. And the thing is when you do the articles, and do you just cover the Monday strength of field race?
For now, yeah, because I'm covering the GT3 and V8 Supercars, and at the same time, like I said, I'm doing the full-time job,
Oh yeah.
and going to school at the same time. Um, I still would need time to sleep occasionally. So I'm trying to be careful with taking too much on the plate. I know at first, when I first started, I was doing some V8s Americas, and I would definitely like to do that again. It's just having two different V8 articles sometimes can be a little conflicting with people, like, what are they talking about in there? So I'm
Right.
definitely trying to think of a way to incorporate the V8s as well as the main strength of field race, maybe just putting both of those things into one article. Just to kind of, because I mean, you guys the race tonight was a great race to watch. I mean, so you got to give credit for that as well.
Well, one of the things that's big next year is we have worked really really hard. Jim Davey is the man with the plan, but one of the big things next season is we are going to try to incorporate. You mentioned the big list of teams. Teams are a huge part in sim racing, and we have a points championship, but we have never. Well, since I've been around, we haven't had a team championship in the official series, and that is something we're looking to add next season for the first time in a while. Am I right, Jim, or is it? It's been there before.
It still will only cover the Americas series. It won't cover the entire
Right.
official series.
Yeah, it's just this one.
Right.
It's just the America series.
It's still in the works. Soon, the trademark iRacing statement may not be ready at the beginning of the season, but it should be ready, I'm hoping, by midway through.
Awesome stuff, man. And that's going to be huge. That'll add some excitement to this series for certain, because we have some great teams out here.
Yes, Curtis made a little statement. Last time it was there, Cannon was at the top. Yes, like I explained before, Curtis. I stopped doing it because Can-Am was the only team regularly participating in the America Series, and we were kind of
You were tanking the series.
We really were. I mean, it was me and Curtis and Ray and Chad. We were like the top 4 drivers in the series at the time, so we were like 1,000 points ahead of the next team by the end of the season.
And that was us, wasn't
it? So it was kind of pointless, so I kind of stopped doing it because it was like, yeah, we're rubbing your nose in it now, so I didn't want to be rude.
But I think things have changed since then, guys. We have some
A
really
little
good
bit.
we have some great teams out there now, and I think the talent is really spread out. We got some. I mean, you look at the teams on paper, and you got Power Bond Racing, TGR. Don't let me say it wrong. But SDC Motorsports, Kamikaze Racing. The list goes on and on. And you know, it's the talent is everywhere, and I think that it'll be a really close battle. I really do. I think it'll go all the way to the end, just like our points championship does. And I think it'll add a lot of excitement. But I don't want to get too far off task. Is there anybody that wants to ask Paul another question out there, or anything, or about what he's done, or the future?
I just want to say it's great. I really appreciate him putting the V8s up on the in-racing news. It's always good to see.
Oh,
Yeah,
thanks,
same
man.
here.
I appreciate it. I mean, it's to me, it's the best series that's on iRacing, the best racing, the best car. Even though the car is a tank to drive, I think it was like Jeremy Clarkson from Top Gear that said one time, I forgot what car he was describing, but it really fits how the V8 drives. It's like a tank made of teeth covered in jelly. And that's really the best way to describe that car. So, and I'm really looking forward to not next season, but season 4, I believe, when the new car and
Yes,
the Holden
sir.
comes out. So I'm really looking forward to see how different that car drives, and how that's going to affect the racing. Maybe even bring a new crowd to the V8s as well.
Yeah.
Oh, it should be big. Yeah, I reckon that's going to bring a big crowd to it, and you've got the job there, Paul.
That's right, Paul. We have talked a lot about what changes could possibly come from the new cars, and we've definitely had this subject on past Get 30 MX post race shows. But it's awesome with you in here because it brings another development as you cover this series. What do you think it will do to your coverage if that? Do you think it really will? I think it'll double the participation we have now.
Oh, I definitely hope so. I mean, like I said, it's my favorite series to watch, not just on iRacing, but on TV as well. And I think it would, depending on how the car drives, of course. I mean, I know, like in real life, a lot of the big time drivers were having some problems getting the hold of it at first, just because it drove, so differently and everything. I don't know how different. I mean, I would hope it's going to be a little easier to drive, so that it'll, the people who do come and buy the car will stick around and not, driving into the fence in the first turn and be like, this is stupid, I'm done. So hopefully all the data that iRacing has gathered on the new car, they put it to good use to make a really good car that's, lifelike and everything, just to bring that level of competition. As far as changing, I don't know if it's going to change too much. I mean, as far as like the top drivers now, I mean, they're top drivers for a reason, because they can drive. I mean, you could put a car underneath them. If it's got 4 wheels, maybe even 3, they could probably still win races with it. So what's really going to be cool is watching some of the guys that are new to the series come in and just get it, and then just put the pressure on the top guys and see what kind of racing we get from there. That's what I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I know we all are. It's going to be a blast, and I do look forward to it. I wish we were getting it now. I don't want to wait a whole nother season.
Well, I think they said that it's they could probably have it done by mid-season of season 3, but I mean, I know how they are. They like to have it during the week 13 thing, to have it during the like the 24 hours de fun or whatever they call it.
Yeah, that's what they love to do. I would love if it would be out by Bathurst.
24 hours debug.
Yeah.
JD, just gotta say, JD, that Steve Myers put some information up on Twitter today that's pretty interesting.
Uh-oh, the Jim Davey rumor
on, Jim.
mill is churning,
Break it-
ladies
break
and
it to
gentlemen.
us.
Bring it to us, Jim.
So, at 4:36 p.m. Eastern Time, Steve Myers from iRacing said, quote, "So Scott McLaughlin came all the way here," I'm assuming they're talking about New Hampshire,
he's there now.
to beat me into putting a Volvo in iRacing.
Yep.
Wow.
Whoa.
That's very big news. That would be awesome.
Wow.
And they were talking about it a year ago, I think, when they were at the Circuit of the Americas the first time.
That's huge. I love the Jim Davey rumor mill. It's always churning. Jim's out there finding all the nitty-gritty news for us. I love it. Jim, if this...
Scott's at the NASCAR weekend this weekend, apparently.
He's what now?
What? No, he's racing, isn't he?
Say that again, Bone.
No, he's in the US right now.
What's he doing in the U.S.? You said something about NASCAR. My ears went.
He's going to where is it? New Hampshire this
week?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's there. He's there right now.
The race is
he's doing the big drive there 2 days ago. He's doing the big drive to New Hampshire and.
Yeah, because 5 hours ago he was talking about being down there with Ambrose and the DeWalt team.
There you go. So is he going to be visiting the NASCAR race at New Hampshire? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, that's what he's there for. Yeah.
That's awesome news. I'll definitely be watching. I'll watch the race anyways, but I'll be looking for him on the broadcast Sunday. Well, that's exciting news, guys. Is there anything else y'all want to think of before we let Paul breathe for a minute? I think it's safe to say, Paul, we all really appreciate what you do. I know that reading your articles is great. I love when I see a new one. In fact, your name's on the very front of iRacing homepage right now. If you click on iRacing.com and the member page, you're in the side article. As you go down, it has the InRacing News block, and your name's highlighted. It says InRacing News, good read, and right in the middle, Paul Slavonic. You can click on your name. It's just awesome, man. And the fact that you cover the V8 Supercars as well as the GT3 series. That's just two great series. And I have to agree. I can't remember who said it just a minute ago, but it is really awesome having coverage from the V8s. This is the best series on iRacing. And for people that maybe don't even get to see the V8s or even drive the V8s, you're putting that article out there, and maybe they won't see it or drive it, but if they read that article, you never know. You could get a new driver or two just off of reading that article.
Yeah, and that's the hope too, is just people to realize how close the racing is here. So I try to always include as many pictures as I can. I probably turn it into the article's more like a picture book by the time I'm done writing it, but I love including all the close action racing and everything, as many pictures as I can. I almost wish I could do like a video review of the race. I mean, I probably will eventually if I get enough time to do it. Do one here and there, but yeah, I mean, it's been a really cool experience just getting in, meeting the drivers, getting involved with the racing. Now I just got to learn how to drive the stinking thing and get better at it.
Me and you both.
Plenty of setups for you, mate.
I was about to
Wait,
say,
you're going to get him? You don't even give me setups.
Uh-oh, I knew this was going to happen.
You got
The
I got a
power,
question for you, Paul. Quick one.
the power of the media right there, buddy.
How good was Mosport Monday night?
That was probably the best V8 race I've ever seen. I mean, maybe even compared to like real V8 races on television. I mean, that was just an incredible race from the start. And I remember when I said earlier when we first started that, sometimes when I get on Monday mornings at 5, I'll turn the race on, watch a few laps, and then walk away. That race, I actually sat through the entire race, and I was almost late for work because of it, because I just could not walk away from it. I mean, just the battle that was going on throughout the entire track, not just up front with Madison down, but just what was going on with Hampstead and how he, sent someone off the track. I think it was, who was it? He took off the track on that downhill left turn. Tony Aldridge, I think. Yeah, so it just, and the other stuff that was going on, it was just nonstop action. I actually went into work kind of nervous, like, how am I going to cover all this? There was so much stuff going on, but it came out good. I was really happy with how it came out. So, but yeah, I'm glad that I'm able to do this stuff, and it's a really great opportunity to be able to represent this series. And I hope I can. I'm definitely planning to keep doing it, but hopefully, they'll keep me around. So, no plans to go anywhere so far.
I'm sure they'll keep you around, buddy. And it's great to have you on the show. Anytime.
If not, we'll keep you around. We got plenty of work for you.
That's right. I was about to say these guys right here. We'll find they'll hire you around here, man. It's great to have you on the show.
Should we hire him as another development driver, or?
Uh-oh.
I'll take it, man. I mean, the reason I'm
Sounds
not
good.
driving. The reason I'm not driving now is because I just moved to a house out in the boonies, and I don't even have like internet in my house yet. I'm actually using a little mobile hotspot, so it kind of cuts off during the middle of races, is what it has a habit of doing. So right now I'm just kind of limited to just jumping in practice sessions. So I think it was 2 seasons ago I did a full season. I did a few races here on the Americas. But yeah, it was such a blast, but now I'm so rusty since then, so I've got a lot of work to do to get back to it.
Interesting thing is, you and I actually joined in the V8 Supercars around the same time. I remember whenever I first started driving the V8 Supercar, you actually had just started driving the V8 Supercar, and we were right about the same pace, and we actually chatted about it a couple times in practice sessions and stuff.
Yeah, I remember your name coming up. I was like, that guy's got a cool name. So yeah, I remember. I think it was there was a different league. It was like the GV8 or something like that I was
That's
doing.
it.
Yeah,
Bingo.
so I think that's where I started, and then I eventually moved on to racing here, where I'd get my strength to field race for the week and everything. So, yeah, I definitely remember that.
Who would have thought we'd be bringing up the GV8, boys? That was my start
I know.
in the V8. That's where I met Marty, Nigel, Kane. That's where this broadcast started, guys. It started in the GV8. So that's pretty interesting little fun fact there. But guys, it's been a fantastic broadcast, and we're 11 weeks into the season, 1 week to go, and that's it. This has just flown by. And as you guys know, I think it's got to be a lot of y'all's favorite track, Phillip Island. I think it's going to be a wonderful finishing track for a season. Obviously, the races in the past have been excellent there. They're always exciting. Should be a really big challenge. I believe it's a longer race, isn't it?
A long race.
Yeah, it's longer than usual. So should be very enticing. Is there anything any of the drivers want to bring up before we close out tonight?
Here's something I
Yeah.
want to bring up. Sorry to interrupt you there, but
No.
Alright.
with 10 people still watching tonight, I do want to remind everybody, and I'm sure it's probably most of us, so I'll remind all of us that today's the last day of the contest. If you need some iRacing credits, Andrew Green, then post a selfie of yourself watching the broadcast, or a picture of yourself watching the broadcast, and post it to the v8sonline Facebook page, and you could win $15 worth of iRacing credits. So it's worth the time. Just take a little picture if you're watching the broadcast and send it into the show. There's been several people do it already, and
You gotta get my picture out.
there's already been a winner, so we'll be picking a winner tomorrow night. That gives you all night long to watch the broadcast
All
over
night long.
and take a picture and send it in. You can
That's
even be
right.
singing while you do it.
That's it, or going over 100 miles per hour while you're doing it.
Yeah, Jake Burton last week, he took his picture. He had a busted up car. He probably wasn't going 100 mile an hour, but he did take his picture driving down the backstretch at Mosport.
It's awesome stuff, man. Well, that's just, you got to do it. Got to get that content, Kane. All you got to do is send in a picture watching the broadcast, and you have a chance of winning free iRacing credits courtesy of v8sonline. How about this though? What were you gonna say before Kane jumped in there?
Just wanted to say that for the past couple of years now, we've been running the series. I think it's been about 2.5 years. And Mike, Budzian, Scott Breckenridge, and I we all feel just like everybody else does that this is the best car on the best service that there is out there. Every now and then, you do start hearing mumblings and rumblings of people dissatisfied with whatever. And Mike, Scott, and I always tend to take a look at stuff, make sure everything's still kosher, still in the spirit of the good competition that we have going on. So just want to make sure people understand that, we are out there, we do listen to the stuff that goes on, and we do take a look into stuff. And we're just happy to say that even after 2 years, this is still some of the greatest racing on iRacing. And hopefully we're looking at maybe expanding to do a couple more things a little bit differently, starting possibly next season in addition to the teams points again, but we're just not sure yet. We're still discussing it.
And I do want to say that after as long as you guys have been doing it, it's done well. And even with the addition of the broadcast and the extra drivers and extra teams that we have here, it really is going great. You do hear a couple little things through the grapevine of a couple little issues that might need ironed out and stuff, but I do want to say that after as much time as you guys have been doing this series, it has remained action-packed. It's attracted a lot of great drivers, and the whole spirit of the series seems to be very good. And I think that's what you want to work to keep. You want to keep that camaraderie between the drivers. You don't want drivers that would be coming in here starting a bunch of crap or things like that. But it is ran as part of the official series, but it is kind of a separate little deal too. So, but I'd say that you guys have, that the series has drawn a lot of great drivers, and it's really exciting. It makes an exciting broadcast, and makes it fun for the drivers to participate in it because they know that all the rest of the drivers on the field have the same great attitudes, the same desires, and the same intense love of racing that they do. And I'd like to see that same kind of attitude continue throughout the series. Once the guys really start getting competitive and angry competitive, that's what really starts to hurt a series, and we don't really see that here. We see a lot of more camaraderie competitive, more of friendly competitive.
Yeah, it's highly competitive but courteous, sort of. Not you, Curtis, but courteous, yeah.
And touching on that too is once we get the new cars in here, the participation is going to shoot up, and we're going to get a lot of new drivers. And if they come in to a league that has a bunch of angry competition, then it's going to set a bad example for them. But if they come in and they see how great things are like they are now, and they see how we are as a group, I think that it's just going to, once they see that, they're going to say, oh, things are different here. I like being here. This is a great league, and I think that it's just going to continue to bring in great drivers. Yes, what did I say again? League?
Yeah.
I always do it. You know why I say that? Because this is an official series, guys, but it has the league feeling. It does. It really does. It feels like a private league, but it's not. It's an official series, and I love it. It really is the greatest place on iRacing.
I'm inclined to agree.
Well, now that we got all the fun stuff out of the way for the show, guys, congratulations goes out again to Marlon McMullen. And once again, we really want to thank Paul Slavonic for coming and being on the show this evening. It really was a pleasure, Paul. And please feel free to come back to the show anytime. And we'll have to keep checking up on you. We'll be looking out for your next article, bud. And guys, is there anybody else that wants to touch on anything before we close it out and get ready for our final week? Sounds like we're ready to close this bad boy up, guys. It's been week 11. Montreal was a success, a big night for our good friends Marlon McMullen, Curtis Chipaway, and of course Tobias Zerny. The Power Bond Racing team looked fantastic tonight. They dominated and controlled the entire podium. It was really fun. Make sure you join us same time next week here on v8sonline.com, or you can catch us at YouTube and then search V8 Online. We have all the races there. Also, if you can't get enough once a week, we do broadcast twice a week. Our other series is Wednesday evenings at 9 o'clock Eastern Time in the U.S. We broadcast the official NASCAR iRacing Series Top Split, and it is absolutely wonderful. It is a great series, and it's starting to wind down, so you might want to catch up on that. All the broadcasts are listed in order on YouTube, thanks to Kane. But thanks a lot, guys, for joining. For all our live viewers, one more time, we're going to ask you, please go by, take a picture of yourself watching the broadcast, send it into our Facebook page at Facebook.com/V8sonline. and it enters you for a chance to win iRacing credits via V8's Online. That's all you have to do to win the contest. But anyways, that's it for tonight. We hope to see you guys next week as we close out a fantastic series here in the Americas Series. We'll come to you live next week from Phillip Island. Y'all have a great night. Contact free. Close. Contact free.
Muggleton just has to cross over this crest. He will cross the line.